Welcome back, blade fans. This old sword is with you once again, and we have another custom knife today from a company that's new to me and relatively new on the scene. This is TKell Knives. I believe he's out of the Chattanooga, maybe Atlanta, Georgia area, I'm not sure. And he has a shop there. He was nice enough to reach out and ask me if I'd like to review one of his knives. I said yes. Was not a purchase of mine, but it's going back, so it's not a gift either. And the one I chose is a newer model, and this is called the Guardian. And I also got to choose the handle type and material. So what you're looking at here is the BDU GG style handle, and I believe the GG has to do with the cutouts in the grip area that you see there, those half round cutouts, and it exposes the multi-layer of the G10, so gives it kind of a cool look. Now it's interesting, when I first ordered this knife, and when I say ordered I mean was asked which one I wanted to review, I thought it was a chisel grind. But lo and behold, when I got it, look at that. It's a V grind. And yeah, it's a big flat, and they're very steep bevels. But I've got to tell you, you can see by the width of that sharpening grind that that is a very precise edge, and I got to tell you, it is sharp. For not being a fine edge, it is an exact edge, and it's about as sharp as you're going to get on this type of a grind, which is designed to be a tough self-defense styled knife, suitable, let's back out a little, for either point down grip, in which it looks like a Tonto that way, doesn't it? And it looks like a Warncliffe that way. I think that's kind of cool. And not only cool, but useful. Now the handles and the overall size of the knife are rather on the small and compact side. I think this is about a 4-inch blade. We're going to measure it up in a moment. And the handle just fits your hand. So I've got a medium-large hand. I saw Tim's hand on this in some of his Instagram videos, where he's got about the same amount of meat on it that I do. Now, because of the finger groove here and the way the handle is laid out and the grip pattern, particularly on this one, and I'll be putting links in the description so you'll get to go out to his site. He's got a beautiful website, really one of the better custom maker websites I've seen. Really modern, great photography, and lots and lots of information on his knives. So these knives also come with what he calls a battle-worn finish, but it is a nickel boron coating, which is on top of 1095 high carbon steel, which is renowned for taking a beating. And you can see him demo his blades out on Instagram. He's really knocking them around, and they are carving up the targets, something fierce. So this battle-worn nickel boron finish is said to be 70 plus HRC. And it withstands scratching better than any other blade coating on earth, according to his website. And the bottom line is, battle-worn is the premier coating and lives up to what TKell blades have become known for: extreme usability and durability. And here's the other thing, it's also extremely slick. So when it cuts, the material pushes up against this coating, and it's like Teflon. I swear to God, this is, I mean, I don't even want to chance it, but if I were to loosen my grip on that just a little bit, it's going to slide right out of my fingers. But, of course, you're holding the handle, so you don't have to worry about that. For my blade use in the Filipino martial arts, I would like, on this particular model, a little more flat, but that's okay. Understand why they brought this edge up as far as they did, so that you have this TKell pulling action, clawing action, should you hold it point down. And it's a beautiful grip either way. It sort of follows in the Japanese tradition of their original tantos in having a handle that's just large enough for you to hold on to with not a lot left over, because you don't want anybody leveraging that to try to pull it out of your hand in close combat. And yes, there are people that will do that if they have that skill level. So full tang, we're going to do some measurements. So I've been talking about that. Let's do some measurements now. Nasty, nasty blade on this guy, I'll tell you. 7 3/4 roughly, with like a 4 1/8 blade length. And handle thickness in inches, 0.56. Nice flats. And blade thickness in millimeters for, I'm going to call it a 4.2. Let me try it one more time. Can't put too much pressure on these. 4.2. 4.2 millimeters. And last blade I did, I forgot to weigh it, so let's make sure we do that here, but I did include it in the description. That was the rib splitter drog. Okay. Come on. As I keep saying, I have trouble with the scale on this surface. There we go. Knife alone, a solid 6 ounces. And with the beautiful custom sheath that it comes with. Oh, can't slide off now, can we? 7.78 ounces with the sheath. Okay, so let's talk about the sheath. He gives a very robust and interesting clip for horizontal carry. Now, as with any Kydex sheath, you can adapt it to the type of belt carry that you want, or if you so choose, you can remove the clip entirely and you can drop this bad boy in the pocket, because you can thumb it off just like that. Now, the handles are held on with some rather large, it appears to be Allen screws rather than Torx, 3 on each side. I mean, this is solid construction. Now, price-wise, we're talking about $200 here. And if you compare that to other custom knives, that is a very fair price, particularly with all the work that goes into hardening his 1095. And you can read more about that on his website. There are a lot of particulars out there. If you like to read details and dive in, you will not be disappointed in checking out Tim's website. But look at the usefulness of this blade. We've got 3 edges on the Guardian. There, and an itty-bitty one out there. So however you are moving this weapon, and I'm going to call it a weapon, it's a self-defense tactical knife, okay? Could you use this for EDC? Absolutely. Are you going to have the finest edge that you're looking for? No, but you're going to have a very, very durable edge. And there are many models. If you don't like this model, he's probably got another 10 models out there, and larger knives. So I do see he has something called a Mercenary. I believe it's called the Mercenary. Forgive me if I'm wrong. That is a larger knife. But he designs the knives so they can be carried and concealed. You don't want too big a handle. You don't want too long a blade. This is actually, of his smaller set of knives, this is the largest blade, that 4 1/8. And he really there's a lot of information on his heat treat. So let me just talk a little bit about how I would use and carry this. Certainly, again, a very high quality formed sheath. It is a taco style sheath, so it's folded and then joined on one edge, and that is a probably the most liked sheath for those that use a knife tactically, so that you've got a completely sealed edge here against any possible exit of the blade unintentionally. There is no rattle to the sheath, and again, perfectly positioned here to thumb off should you want to use it that way. And finger placement, 3 fingers on the main part of the handle, and then plenty of room for your pinky on the pommel right there. When we're holding it in the point down position, the only thing I miss is that that's not really that comfortable for me to press my thumb against, although I can fold it over like that, but it's still kind of poking me in the joint of the thumb. But that's okay. I mean, the thumb can go here for the point down, and you get a very solid grip. As Tim demonstrates, you can really hang on to these shorter handles because of the way they're textured, because of the consideration of thicknesses, and all of that. Nice built-in guard with the finger groove there, and a very nicely done and considered sharpening choil. And I like the way he does his grinds. I mean, that serves both purposes. You've got a finger stop, and you've got a end point for your sharpening. Really nice blade. Let's do a little comparison. I have here a Sea Snake, Mike Emler design by Artisan. Or is it CJRB? That's Artisan. So it's considerably larger than the Sea Snake, which is a very small knife. And if we take out another standard in the knife combatives area, there is the Street Beat by Spyderco. So we're getting kind of in line with that length, a bit longer actually. So if I get right there, it's a good 3/4 of an inch overall longer, and the blade, again, 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch longer, and has a bit more solidity and heft to it than the Street Beat. Street Beat's one of my favorite EDC fixed blades, by the way. So again, Tim gives you a very nice grippy claw for your belt, not going to come off, and it's pretty much one position, but he also gives you an anchor point if you wanted to hang that knife as well, as far as I can see. That's very interesting. I mean, I like the setup. Generally, you're going to see more rivets, but on this one, you've got that Chicago screw down there. You got a couple of here, and all the hardware is really well done. The anchor point for the sheath is pretty much, got to put it in the right way, right in that first rivet hole or screw hole. As I say, Tim has made these knives to be used, very much respectful of that. Not sure I'd like jimping here or not. Maybe. That's possible consideration, and he does customize knives, so if you wanted that jimping, there's a good chance that you might get it if you asked for it when you ordered the knife. And again, many different choices in handle materials. Check out the links that I put in the description. I want to thank TKell for sending me one of these beauties, and I hope to be maybe ordering something up for myself. We'll see how that goes. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I've had kind of a run of fixed blade knives. I think very soon we're going to be getting into some folders again. So stay tuned to the channel, and when you subscribe, you will get notifications of new videos. So there you have it, the Guardian by TKell Knives. Take care.